Hello everyone. I wanted to make this channel as a way to vent some of my frustrations about the US government. I'm hoping to find some community and not feel like I'm alone. I currently live in a very red state, and a lot of the people around here think that everything that the Cheeto is doing is great and wonderful. In high school, I was curious if the excerpts from Anne Frank's diary were cherry-picked to make everything look a lot worse than it was, or if that was a good representation of everything day to day. So we went to the bookstore to get a copy of Anne Frank's diary, and when we got home and I checked, it was an abridged version with a lot of commentary by somebody else on the diary. Because I wanted the quote-unquote real version, we went back and tried to find an unabridged version. After talking to a few people, we realized that there was no such thing as an unabridged version because the full diary was never published. However, we did find one that looked like it was as complete as it would get at the time. This is the book we came home with, and I had every intention to read it, but I was I think 14-year-old at the time. That was really close to the age that she was writing the book at. It was too much for me, and I ended up putting it down and never picked it back up. With the way everything's been going lately, it reminded me of some of the excerpts and some of the things that my high school teachers would say. So I decided to pick the book back up and see if it had any correlation to today. I picked it back up a few days ago just because I was curious how related the things that were happening in the US were to anything in her diary. And I figured it would be a stupid thing to start a channel. I only had to get about 7 pages in before things started looking like they are today. And on page 8, this is where I knew I needed to start this channel. Sorry, I'm too shaky to read through the screen while I'm pointing it at the... Our freedom was severely restricted by a series of anti-Jewish decrees. Jews were required to wear a yellow star. Jews were required to turn in their bicycles. Jews were forbidden to use streetcars. Jews were forbidden to ride in cars, even their own. Jews were required to do their own shopping between 3 and 5. Jews were required to frequent only Jewish-owned barber shops and beauty parlors. Jews were forbidden to be out on the streets between 8 p.m. and 6 a.m. Jews were forbidden to go to theaters, movies, or any other forms of entertainment. Jews were forbidden to visit Christians in their homes. Jews were required to attend all Jewish schools, etc. You couldn't do this and you couldn't do that, but life went on. Does that sound familiar?